Hey everybody, I'm Solomon with ClickX. Today's marketing hack of the day, I want to talk about why how-to content is so important. If you notice that, I put so important. All right, let's break it down. Let's get started.
Marketing hack of the day is brought to you by ClickX.
I get calls and emails from people asking me, hey Solomon, I don't know exactly what to write about. I know I need to write more content. And my goal is to help you sort of start from scratch and just coming up with how-to content about your business and the solution that you provide to the marketplace. By addressing the problem directly to the consumer in the blog posts that you write or the content pieces, the articles that you write, you're going to filter down the traffic to the people that are actually looking for what it is that you sell. Right? So if you can actually accomplish that by writing more content about the solution that you provide, the problem that people are looking for, you're going to be seen as the authority in those that are looking for this thing that you're doing, right? So let's just take, for instance, you're solving the plumber problem. I use plumbing all the time. So if you could write about, the faucet leaking or a certain sewer thing that you fix, if you can keep writing about how to solve those challenges, you don't have to assume that they're going to read it and go and execute that themselves. That's not the goal here. It's that you want to make sure that you sound like the authority, so the person who's actually looking for it, they're going to stumble on your website, they're going to read the content, and they're going to understand that you're the expert in this particular space and contact you to have this fixed. Whereas if you didn't have the content on your website, you're not going to get the traffic in the first place, you're not going to look like the authority, and you're definitely not going to get the right kind of visitors to your website. So it's really crucial having this sort of very basic content on your website. Maybe this is stuff that they can do it themselves, that if you read it, maybe they can do it, but chances are the people aren't going to do it. They're not going to do it just because they read a blog post. Very few people will execute that. If it's a challenge, it's outside my comfort zone, I'm more likely to call the people that I saw that they specialize in this thing and they're going to do it. And the best part about writing how-to content is that as you're writing about the tools that you use, the process that you take your customers through to fix this problem that they have, you're actually automatically optimizing your content with the keywords that are relevant so that people punching those keywords, this article is more likely to show up, right? So you're not really having to do SEO optimization on top. You're already going to include the keywords in the content because you're writing out step by step in this process. And one thing to understand that is as you're writing this content, try to utilize videos, right? Use some visuals, add photos and text and combining text, photos, and videos, you're going to get a much better output, something that people actually understand what they're going through. One thing to do too, if you can, is insert an infographics, which is really useful. If it's a complicated topic, people can understand that visually and they make sense, and maybe they'll share the content with somebody else. So you're actually accomplishing not just content creation, you're also accomplishing the SEO part just by crafting more content that is relevant to what you do and the problems that you solve. One thing to actually really focus on is adding call to actions, or what I call them lead magnets, to the bottom of the content piece that you're doing. So if you're creating how-to content, let's say you have 10 pieces, you're going to solve this a series of problems that you want customers to come to your website and call you for, but you want to convert them because what I consider these visitors that are literally trying to understand how to do XYZ, they're early stage leads. They're in the process. They're in this journey of trying to solve this problem that they're trying to fix, and they're coming across the first website, the second or the third website. They're very early stage in fixing this thing that they have, and if you can put a magnet saying, hey, download the checklist, download the ebook, whatever that is, you're actually going to convert somebody who is in that journey. And the benefit is that now you know where they are, which is to me, it's a top of funnel lead. And now you can nurture them throughout the entire journey and get them to buy maybe a month from now, maybe 3 months from now. But if you never actually convert the traffic, you're just going to be putting out more and more content, generating all this traffic, but it's not really going to mean anything from a business perspective. You're not going to get the cash, the revenue, if you don't convert these folks to leads. And the cool thing is that you can actually go to your Google Analytics, you can go to your Search Console and take a look at the pages that you're getting the most amount of traffic for. And in my personal example, I have seen so many pages that I wrote, maybe it was a month ago, whether it's a year ago, it is how to. For me, what sort of surprises me the most is how generic these questions that they're asking. So it would be like, how do I install a WordPress blog, right? How do I optimize my blog? How do I generate more traffic to my blog? And these are very, very simple topics. They're not complicated. Again, they're that top of funnel person who's really looking to optimize their website and generate more traffic. And obviously, we got the solution. We've built the software that helps them do that. So they're the right kind of visits. And if I can turn them into a lead, then obviously in the long run, I'll be able to convert them into customers, right? So if you can think of those topics that your customers are searching for as they're sort of looking for the product or service that you offer. So you might want to look at, hey, what are all the challenges do I solve as a company? So write those things down and figure out how you can turn them into a series of articles that are how-to content. And if you can be the best one in that space, the one with the most amount of content that explains the solution, so you can outcompete your competitors. So they may not have the strategy of coming up with content that are very basic in that sense, that are going over step-by-step instructions of how you can solve the challenge. If you can outcompete, I would start with the how-to content, right? If you're getting stuck on if you're getting stuck on not knowing what to write about next, what sort of series of content, especially if you're planning out for 2 or 3 months in advance, start with the basics. Start with those how-to content, very basic in nature, but make it very meaty, very lengthy, 2,000 words if you can. Offer better, more detailed, more practical, step-by-step sort of content for your how-tos. Make it fun and interesting, make it exciting, make the fonts rather bigger, maybe have a really nice introduction, a really nice conclusion, and work on improving that over time. So you don't really have to have one piece of content that you're never going to update again. Make it something that you're going to come back, revisit it, add more to it, right? Add another extra link to it. Maybe you can link to another resource and continue to update it. That's what's going to get you the traction in the long run. So I hope you got some insights as to how you can use how-to content to expand your content strategy. Thank you for watching another edition of Marketing Hack of the Day.
Subscribe to ClickX.
ClickX, helping businesses increase traffic, generate leads, and close deals.